Warning, the review you are about to watch concerning Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has been made to have little to no spoilers included. I plan to talk more in depth with spoilers in later videos. For now, just understand that I may not go into detail with everything here, as I wanted to make it as non-spoiler as possible. Hope you understand and still enjoy Pokemon. One of the most successful and profitable franchises in the entire world. It is everywhere and in every form, and it all started with one thing: the video games. I started my Pokemon adventures back with Pokemon Red and have been playing every single generation leading up to Gen 9. So to say I was jarred by the experience of Scarlet and Violet is an understatement. Let's get into it, shall we? Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is based in the Paldea region and is the first mainline title to be truly open world, not too dissimilar from Pokemon Legends Arceus, which came before. Being a new region and a new official generation to the mainline games, you could bet there are a ton of new Pokemon to discover, capture, battle, and trade. The games this time around also feature full online play where you and a group of 3 others can explore Paldea together and be able to continue your storyline separately without interfering one another's progress. From its base, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are giving you a lot of game for your money. A big world, 3 major storylines, online play, etc. But why is the game jarring to me as a fan of the franchise for so many years? To put it simply, the game has a lot of lost potential to become a truly amazing Pokemon game and possibly a Game of the Year contender. One of the most damaging areas which has been proven to be divisive by the fanbase is the graphics. The game simply does not look good. The last mainline title, Sword and Shield, at least had personality and character with each area you were going into, with different colours and layouts to make them feel unique and a pleasure to explore. Scarlet and Violet, as a result of the open world, struggles to fill it with as much character and diversity. You go from grass plateaus, to a mountain range, to an Arctic tundra, and a sandy desert, just to name a few key locations. But these areas are surprisingly dense, and not full of character and personality the previous games had. Sure, they leave more room for the roaming Pokemon to appear, but you can't just throw a ton of Pokemon into an area and say, "Yup, that's 4. An open world demands more characters, environmental elements like trees and vegetation, even NPCs, who you may not see as battling trainers, roaming around, also going on their Pokemon adventures or doing their jobs. Without some core elements of other successful open world games, this title outside of towns and cities just feels like only you occupy it. Outside of these elements, one of the most redeeming factors of the game is its gameplay. It's not hard to keep up with the simple and solid gameplay loop of the Pokemon games, but this time round it just feels stronger and better than ever. EXP candies return to help reduce grind, as well as for permanent EXP share. The removal of set mode is a little strange, but outside of those who use this setting for challenge runs, such as myself, it isn't a big deal. New Pokemon moves have helped flesh out the game, as well as being able to rename your Pokemon and relearn old moves anytime you want without having to find a specific NPC in the world. These quality of life improvements only help to strengthen the game at its core and increase its accessibility to those who cannot spend hours grinding. Another great part of the game is its storytelling. Pokemon hasn't exactly had the best writing in any of the games, but Scarlet and Violet shine as an example of what you can do with the franchise. The 3 stories will introduce you to 3 core areas of Paldea, one for the gym leaders and the Elite Four featuring Nemona, your new rival, and some of the best personalities in gym leaders in the whole series. One to encounter gigantic Pokemon known as Titans, with Arven, who is linked to the main professor of the game, and personally, the best character story out of the 3. Then finally you have a story that takes you up against the region's bad guy team by the name of Team Star, again with some colourful characters to carry you through. The stories had a bunch of exciting moments in them, and some even tear-jerking at times. However, it is not immune to the lack of potential that I brought up earlier. For every great gym leader, there's either a lacking or plain boring minigame attached to their battle. For every Team Star member, the battles seem very slapped together and not challenging at all. Even in the Team Star storyline, the main character of that route named Penny gets overshadowed by the other flamboyant and outward characters, making her feel like she has no impact to the plot. With this all said, I think it is time to talk about the two very obvious factors that will put people off of this game: the graphics and the performance. The graphics are quite frankly poor, especially for the Nintendo Switch. The hardware may be older than the other rivaled counterparts, absolutely, but that only means that developers should by now understand what they can and cannot do to push their games as far as they can. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will never look like a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or a Breath of the Wild. Heck, it will never even look like Sword and Shield, which in comparison looks more vibrant, while Scarlet and Violet looks washed out. Textures will either be very basic and low quality, or even dynamically shift as you walk past them, which is something I have never seen in all my time playing games on all the platforms. The game does not look great. But what hinders it even more is its performance. Now, I stand true to the idea that your game can still run at 30 FPS and still be a really great game. However, Scarlet and Violet struggles to even keep at a consistent 30 frames per second in docked and handheld modes of the Switch. The game lags everywhere and creates a sense of playing everything in slow motion, which has even caused me to take time out from playing just so I can rest my eyes. The lag is also apparent when simply entering and leaving shops, entering and leaving multiplayer content, and even during battles. Playing smoothly is a fundamental element of any game, and if you cannot manage this, then it creates an experience that will already leave you thinking, is this it? Overall, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has some brilliant gameplay fundamentals and loops that are great to play for new and returning fans. However, the gameplay alone is unable to carry the gaps in the game's design and especially the flaws in the game's presentation. The game feels like it only has the bare basics and could have been much better if it was delayed into the middle of 2023 at the very least. In my opinion, it feels as though the anime was wrapping up, and Nintendo and the Pokemon Company were desperate to get this game out soon so that it can hype up the next animated season, which has come to the detriment of those who just wanted a great game to play. Since I have decided to not score my reviews, I will end this by simply asking, would I recommend this game? It is genuinely hard to say, but after a lot of personal debating, I can gladly say I cannot recommend this game. You may be able to look over the flaws and still enjoy Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for what it is, but with the price tag and what the game brings to the table, it is but a shell of what we could and should have gotten as consumers. Game Freak has let me down personally, and I wouldn't be surprised if the DLC of the game improves elements, or if we see in the future a Scarlet and Violet Ultimate Edition not too dissimilar to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. The game overall might be disappointing to me, but I'm curious as to what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and feel free to follow for more as I plan to do a more in-depth review of core elements of the game, as well as make more content concerning Pokemon and otherwise. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay explosive. I'll be seeing you guys next time.